Yo, let me ask you something, Papi AQ.
Yes, sir.
If you could have picked a feature, J Balvin, Bad Bunny, or Anuel, who would you pick?
Ooh, J Balvin, Bad Bunny.
I'd pick Anuel straight up. I don't know, that's me though. I like that hardcore rap shit. You might be more into melodies, no?
I think I would do one with J Balvin.
Episode 25, we got Papi AQ in the building, sponsored by SoundScan Studios. Shoutouts to Elroy. Big ups, bro. Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you so much for your beautiful studio. I appreciate you having the Beyond the Views podcast here today. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Cito. I got Papi AQ in the building. What are you saying, homie?
Nice to be here.
Hey, man. I appreciate you coming through, Papi AQ. I had to get the man on this show, man. I bumped into one of your music videos, and I noticed that you do real stories, like real movies with your music videos, and I like that. It's not the typical girl cash flowing down drinks. Like it's you give a storyline, and we'll get there because there's one that's my favorite. So we'll get there. To introduce everybody right now that does not know who Papi AQ is, born in Monterrey, Mexico, came to Canada in 2002. Papi AQ has been driving force in developing Spanglish in our community, in our country, eager for his representation. A multi-talented artist with sounds that blend trap production, Latin melodies, while transitioning between English and Spanish. His catalog of music speaks for itself. I appreciate you for coming on the show. This is Beyond the Views podcast, episode 25 with Papi AQ. You know what time it is. There was a quote that I read, and it was inspired by hardships he and his family face back home in Mexico. Share some insight on, what you mean by that. Like, what did you guys go through as a family and, coming to Canada from Mexico?
Well, so, I was born in 94. So, like, in the 90s, it was, I guess you would say, the brinks of the Narco war. Yeah. So it was just, in Mexico at that time, it was just... till this day, the violence in Mexico and the narco wars has been going crazy, and back in those days, it wasn't strange to see stuff going down in your neighborhood when you're at school, when you're at the mall, when you're just going shopping, when you're with your family. It was a very intense environment, and it brought a lot out of me, and when we came here to Canada, it was kind of like starting from the bottom type of thing. My parents had to work full time, and they also had to go to school to get degrees and just like put us through school. And I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me and stuff. But growing up, I guess growing up just really gave me that sense of independence and sense of like, okay, nobody else is here. Like, I don't have my grandparents, I don't have my cousins, I have my brothers, and I had a younger brother who mostly I was taking care of. My older brother, he was a little bit older, so he was doing his own thing, figuring out. So for me, it was kind of like one of those times where it's like either swim or you're drowning.
Shit, bro. That's crazy, man. So when you did land in Canada in 2002, you and your whole family, I'm sure the upbringing was still rough at this point, right? Like, you guys had to get your things all together, and. So
in fact, for the first few years, we didn't have we had visas, but we didn't have our permanent residence. So we had to go back home every year for 2-3 months at a time.
Really?
To renew the papers to be able to come back, and so we would do it in the summertime so that we could come back and still be in school, like catch the September,
That's sick. That's sick. Do you got music in your background, like your family?
Yeah.
You do?
So, well, actually, my mom used to sing a lot in choirs and all that stuff. She used to be a singing teacher when she was younger as well. As well as my dad, he used to sing a lot, and he plays guitar. When we first came to Canada, my dad actually was playing in a lot of random like Mexican restaurants or taverns and stuff. He would be playing like covers, and I just remember when I was very young, I'd go to my dad when my dad was performing. Sometimes my mom would take us out. Usually it was at nighttime, so we would be sleeping, right? But I remember when I went, it wasn't really like the crowd or anything. It was just the fact that he was able to play like the music and like just like his voice and like I don't know. To me, music is very magical.
Yeah,
especially
man.
live instruments.
Yeah.
When there's live music, it brings something, emotion in the air. It's very magical, you know.
Yeah.
And that spoke to me a lot. And I think since a little kid, that spoke to me a lot, and I always kind of like fantasize about being like a rock star. Como lo menea, lo menea. Baby, deja sueltecita esa cadera. Mami, yo te como a ti entera. Or being like, you know, being like that one like big artist in front of like millions and millions of people and just going crazy.
Yeah, you know? Man. Yo, just listening to that, it's crazy. I want to know the story, okay, behind the moment where you wrote your first raps and you went to the studio and recorded it. Is that Tu Cuerpo? In 2017, was that one of your first songs?
No.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Tell me. Because yo, Tu Cuerpo is not on your Spotify.
No.
It's not on your Spotify, but I still found it somehow. So what is it? Is that one of your first tracks? Like when did you start making music?
You know what? Tu Cuerpo was I guess it was a milestone for me in a sense because before I was doing I was doing music, but I was doing hip hop, like English, right?
Oh, okay.
Mostly, I guess, rap. So when I first started recording myself, and I with like a broken microphone and on my laptop off like some cracked program. I just remember at the time that song Bedrock by Lil Wayne was really popular.
Young Money.
Yeah, so I did a verse over that, and I just remember showing a few friends, some girls and stuff, and people were like, yo, this is really dope.
Oh, cool.
Like, this and that, and I was like, oh, shit.
Cool.
So I started doing that, but obviously since like when you're doing remixes, you can't make money off it. You can't put it on Spotify. You can't put it on Apple Music. So, and at the time, I used to also rap in Spanish and English.
Yeah. And
people would say, no, you know, a lot of people would tell me you should pick one, either do in Spanish or do English. You shouldn't blend the two.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna listen to that.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, you know, I don't know. Like this and that. And then I started doing more Spanish music, which kind of came more natural to me.
Okay.
And a lot more people were vibing with that. And I just started, you know what, to be honest with you, I just started making music that I liked, you know, like I started blending both English and Spanish.
You didn't give a fuck.
You know, I didn't give a fuck at that point, and a lot more people started like vibing with it. I started seeing numbers go up. I started seeing like just like response being like insane, and I was like, wow, so this is what I should be doing.
Dope.
You know.
And then you went to go record Shot Caller?
Yeah. That was actually here. We recorded that here at SoundScan Studio. Funny enough to go with that. So back when I was younger, like 16 or something, I started recording here. I came to record here, yeah. And I recorded in a lot of different studios, mind you. Like at that time when I started recording, this was almost the first like professional studio I recorded at.
Wow.
And I met Elroy like that. And
shout out to Elroy. This guy's been around here for a minute.
He's been my mentor for a minute. And you know what? He's always kind of played a distant role. Like always was like my OG, mentoring me through stuff. I used to record at a lot of studios, worked with a lot of different people. And I mean, I'm back here anyways, right?
That's sick.
So with the familia.
Yeah, straight up, and you can feel the vibes in here too, especially, bro. Like the whole setup is fucking sick. Look, we're about to talk about this, cause yo, this one right here, this music video right here, I fucking loved, cause yo, at the end of it was crazy. But you also started by doing covers.
So I started doing covers, and I was releasing on SoundCloud, but then I took off everything. I deleted everything.
How come?
Just because I felt like my sound was revamped and I sounded a lot nicer, so I was like, what? Like my production level is up here. I shouldn't be like, you know.
Yeah.
Even though you always think like, oh, subliminally, like, well, my old music will pop off. It's like, as an artist, you're still like, you know. Even till this day, like looking back at Shot Caller, I'm just like, oh, I have so many better songs now. Like,
it happens. You know? It happens. Do you ever visit your old songs?
So I have this thing. So before I release a song, I'll listen to it like over and over and over and over again, like. A bunch of times, you know. And then when I release it, I actually go in this like kind of like, I don't know, like I don't listen to the song I released like for a long time.
Wow.
Like sometimes I have my moments where I'll go and listen to the stuff I've released before.
Yeah.
But once it's out for me, I don't like. It's just like, okay, it's gone.
You're
like,
done. You're on to the next journey. Nice, man. Nice. In 2019, Me Estás Matando.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I seen that it was actually dropped in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
But then you just dropped the remix.
The remix was with Major Music. He's sort of like an EDM producer type.
Okay.
So he actually did like revamped the song. He did his own remix to it, and he dropped it on his channel. That was
because you know what? When I heard both, I felt there was a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Was this one of your first music videos?
No.
I couldn't find anything prior to that, your music videos, because I really enjoy your music videos. Like I said, honestly,
there is a few music videos that
prior
are like
to that,
old music videos.
Okay.
That are like hidden.
There you go.
In the YouTube.
It's hidden. I couldn't find it.
If you look hard enough, you'll be able to find it.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I couldn't find it, but this one was actually really, really dope. You guys were just having a fucking blast. It seemed like you guys were in a cottage. Where were you guys?
Yeah, it was a cottage. It was one of the buddies, I guess, he just bought it. It was his mansion, so we ended up shooting there. Yeah, it all came together really perfectly.
Yeah, you guys had some sick props. Like you guys had like a pizza man come drop off some pizza. You guys took the pizza inside.
Yeah.
Like police officer comes. Was trying to take you guys down, and the police officer ends up chilling and starts drinking some juice. Check this out, guys. Song slaps. It's good vibes. I just felt good energy. It seemed like you were having a good ass time shooting this music video, eh?
Yeah. So when I'm shooting a music video, it's actually very interesting because like I visualize everything as I'm recording the song itself in the studio. So for every song I already have like a movie or idea in my head, you know, which is weird for me to say, but it makes the whole process of making the actual music videos a little bit easier. Because then, like, for example, Castigo and Me Estás Matando, the ones that you said you liked, they were made by a production team called Track 5, Shadow Track 5. And basically we came to, they helped me a lot with the treatment, and it was my idea to introduce the random characters here and there, and like, in those ones. They also came up with the treatment for Castigo, the whole heist and everything.
Really?
Like, yeah. So it's like, wow. It's like I have the idea of what I want, but then like sometimes, for example, I don't know if you see my other music video, Guerrero. That one was like
that's one of your latest ones.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But you know, the fact that you're saying that you already are thinking this while you're recording a song, like that's how things should be. I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I guess you pitched it to that company a little bit of it, but then you guys came out with a fucking movie.
Like for Guerrero, I actually wrote the whole treatment, and that was like my whole vision. I came up with the whole storyline and everything. I'll show you around. You gotta come to my next.
Yeah, I'm down.
So I actually started doing networking socials for industry events. I did one last weekend, and I invite everybody, like such as yourself, people in the industry, and I invite everybody to come together. And it's just a great way of everybody in the industry getting to know each other and stuff.
Wow.
And I'm going to be hosting the next one at my buddy's studio, and I'd love for you to come out.
Thank you so much, bro. I'll be there, bro. Thank you so much, man. A lot of artists are watching your music videos, and the first thing I thought of, me myself, was, yo, where does Papi AQ get the budget for this shit? Are we talking grants, or is this coming out of your pocket?
This is coming out of my pocket, man.
Wow. Yo, I salute you. I salute you, because you are someone who is legitimately working, getting the money, and investing it back to yourself.
Appreciate that, though. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Huge.
It means a lot.
Bro, that was one of the first things I thought. When I got to the end of your music videos, I was like, okay, all these music videos, studio sessions, like props, all this stuff. I'm like, who's paying for all this?
Yeah, so till this day, actually, it's been me. Like I book my own shows, I get my own features, I get my own beats. I record myself for the most part.
Wow.
At home, I have my own studio set up at home and stuff. Music videos I pay for, everything, mix and masters I pay for, artwork, everything is me. Like, you know, until this day. Well, recently I started putting together a team, but obviously like financing, like whatever has to be made.
Of course, no, for sure. I also read that you taught yourself on how to record.
Yeah.
Did you? So, where would you say you're at right now in like recording your own vocals and stuff? Are you comfortable with it?
I can record myself, and I've recorded multiple artists. Actually, I've recorded a lot of Latin artists in the city that you probably have met. But that's a whole other conversation. But basically, I taught myself. Actually, it's an interesting story, because when I around 2012, when I was living with my parents, we had actually unfortunate event of having a house fire.
Ooh.
And we lost a lot of things. Actually, we lost mostly all our belongings in that house fire.
Wow.
And at that time, I was a young hustler, so I had like a room full of like all kinds of gear, like systems,
Wow.
Xbox, PlayStations, iTouches, like you name it. I was like, I was a kid, obviously
You
like
had it all.
And anyways, the insurance company, I remember, gave me like 10,000 or something for what I had in my room.
Wow.
Right? And so basically I had a choice. I was 18 or something at the time, 16, 17 at the time, and I had a choice. Either I go back and buy myself a television, buy some fresh clothes, buy myself all the stuff that I had. But I said, fuck it, I really want to be an artist, So I said, you know what, I got myself a mattress, so I'm not sleeping on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
And I got myself all recording equipment. I got myself a laptop, speakers, a microphone, headphones, everything that I needed to record in the programs, Pro Tools, Reason, and I didn't know how to use any of it, man. For the longest time, I didn't know anything, and I had it in my room, and I had all this recording equipment and a mattress on the floor. And that was it for a few years, and it was hard, but you know what,
that's a huge jump, man. Good for you.
I feel like recording myself made me level up as an artist, just because you're at the comfort of your home and you're able to record yourself as much as you want, so you kind of like do as many takes as you want.
Of course.
So you actually kind of, I think it helps you master your craft as
your
an
own
artist.
voice and stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. What is something that you're most proud of right now, that you just feel really happy about, that you've accomplished so far?
So that's the thing. I feel like as humans, we're always gonna be like so hard on ourselves and be like, I haven't accomplished enough.
Yeah.
I haven't reached those levels that you want to be reaching.
Yeah.
Well,
but there has to be something that, man, you look back to and.
Well, you know what? It could be a number of things. Like, I mean, I recently reached like close to 1 million streams on Spotify.
Wow.
I have 250,000 views on YouTube
Wow.
on my music videos.
One of your music videos, we'll talk about that in a second. It's at 138, and we need that to go to 200.
Yeah, let's go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got a lot of the 47, 52 that we need to get to 100.
Yeah,
so I will be posting a bunch of those videos because we need to bring that out.
You already know.
But yeah, those are huge accomplishments, man.
And
those are big numbers.
I feel like personal accomplishments is like building my own dream studio at my house. You'll have to come and check it out one time.
Yeah, man. I see you getting there quick.
Getting my own place and stuff.
I see you getting there. Like, you'll get there.
Just stuff like that, I feel like for the most part, what I can say my biggest accomplishment is just not for myself, but more so the feeling of just kind of seeing my family, like where we came from.
Yeah, man.
And like I'm looking at my family now, and like my parents are done well for themselves. I'm doing decent for myself. My brother's doing good for himself.
God bless.
Both of my brothers are doing good for themselves. So like, for me, I just feel like wow, we came from what we came from, and now we're doing pretty good. So for me, I'm just proud. To be honest, I'm grateful for my parents, and I'm proud of what I came from. I don't feel like before I used to be ashamed of what I came from, but you know what? At the end of the day, it made us who we are today, and
well said.
Shaped us in a very interesting way.
Well said. Let's go. Started Castigo. Mm-hmm. We were just talking about 138,000 viewers on YouTube, and this is the song. This is the most viewed music video.
Con el boom del bajo voy a darte castigo.
Got word, they're on their way. Get out now.
Con el boom del bajo voy a darte castigo, castigo, más castigo. Con el boom del bajo voy a darte castigo, castigo, más castigo. Con el boom del bajo voy a darte castigo.
I love the way it ended. At first, I was like, yo, they grabbed the bag, they're out the doors, you were outside, drops the bag to you. Like, that whole scenario was so fucking sick. The cop itself being fired, walks to the car, he's a crook. Just that part itself, too, I was like, that's so dope. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
That hit, yo, bro. Like, guys, we got to get that to fucking 200, 1 million. Let's go.
What's funny is that I think for almost all my videos, it's always been the case that, like, for example, like I was telling you, I handle a lot of my own stuff, right? So I'm handling like the venues or the locations and stuff like that. And a lot of times, like I'm sure it happens to every artist, but like the day of, everything falls like apart. You know?
Did it?
Like dancers don't show up. You lose one location, you lose the next location, and you have to like make up as you're going, like what you got around you. So like it's funny because Castigo, there was a lot more like planned for it.
Really?
And like a lot more visuals were gonna go into it, different locations and stuff. But we kind of just like I think one of the locations we got just the day of, like we just happened to call a friend that had the location available, and we pulled up and did it. The other location in the parking lot, we were getting kicked out by security.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like just series of unfortunate events, but like you just like make it happen and fuck.
You made it work. You made it work. When it finished, you know, the first thing I thought to myself was, is he gonna come with like a sequel? You see, I know it. I know how to read these artists, yo. They drop something good, and then I'm like, I feel like a sequel is coming out soon.
Yeah, actually, me and Nino Chill are working on I guess a sequel, because Castigo was a feature, right, with Nino Chill, my boy. He's a sick Colombian rapper. Basically, we have another song that's been in the vault for a minute. It's called Vamp Life. This one is.
Can we give him a little clip? Can we give him like a 5-10 second clip? We can't, eh?
It's not even mixed yet. So
guys, I tried. I tried.
You're gonna have to wait for that one.
I also noticed that you get a lot of love in Colombia. Like a lot of love.
Yeah.
You know, how did that come about? Like, why is it Colombia itself? I was gonna ask you, like, where do you get the most love from? But I noticed it's from Colombia.
You know what? It's very interesting.
Shout out to Colombia.
Shout out my people in Colombia. Especially in Medellin, Bogota, Cali, you already know.
Jeez!
For that aspect, actually, I have one of my friends who I kind of came up with. He's also Mexican. He got deported. His name is Chico Cruz.
Shout out to Chico Cruz.
He ended up in Colombia making music. And he has a very interesting story as well. But he's making a lot of noise in Colombia right now. He's doing a lot of songs with a lot of people, and he's doing a lot of shows. Now, he kind of put me on to Colombia in terms of like, it's such a big industry hub, like for Latin music.
Okay.
Like the crowd there just goes crazy for all types of Latin artists. So.
Wow. Papi AQ, how do you distinguish what songs will have a music video?
It's very hard. It's very hard because, like I said, like when I write I don't really write. I mostly freestyle my shit.
Do you?
But when I'm in the studio, like, and I'm visualizing the stuff, so like for me, if I could, I would make a music video for every song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But obviously, like, since I'm handling my own shit, like
it's too much.
I just like, so it is kind of like a sacrifice where you have to be like, okay, I'm making a music video for this one, and maybe not this one, maybe that one later on. But you're always moving.
Yeah,
forward,
because
so
every
like,
song,
you know?
every song you make is like you're a fan of that song. So you obviously want everything.
So you're gonna be like that one.
Everything to it, right?
But then it helps to have someone like Elroy tell me like, no, focus on this one.
Yeah.
Push this one to the side, because sometimes as an artist you get so caught up in your own,
Of course, you need the input from the outside looking in. How is the support from your family right now? They must be really proud of you.
To be honest, they hated the fact that I was doing music for the longest time.
Yeah.
They didn't like the rap thing. They didn't like that I'm wasting my money. They didn't think, they didn't like a lot of family, especially back home. Yeah, didn't really, I guess, sign off on it. You know, they weren't really too happy with it. It wasn't until like I moved out and like kind of like found myself and started like doing more of this music stuff seriously, like getting shows and doing this and that it started being like, okay, like, he's actually doing something with this.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and they're like, and then they started seeing the numbers and the response I'm getting, and they're kind of like, okay, maybe
you got something.
You know, and I'm just like, fuck.
October 31st, 2019, Level Up. This is featuring Dre Prada.
Heavy hitter.
I really like this song.
Llegamos, coronamos y nos vamos. Corazón de hielo, ya no amo. Retumba mi sonido por el barrio. Cabrón, estamos bien por este lado. Llegamos, coronamos y nos vamos. Corazón de hielo, ya no amo. Retumba mi sonido por el barrio. Cabrón, estamos bien por este lado.
I ain't Michael Billy G, no, I can't trust it. I can't love for no other. Yeah, that's my brother, so I slide for each other. For no other. Can't study shit, cause I grind.
Woo! Corazón de hielo ya no amo.
Ooh, look at you. Getting
It snapped in, it snapped in. What do you mean by these raps that you're saying here, man? Fuck, I don't know, man. You're over some corny shit, like.
So I mean, I guess typical story of like a Toronto kid growing up and like just getting caught up in the mix, and obviously like had a few girlfriends in my life. And, you know, had my falling outs and here and there. And it taught me a lot, and like one thing that it really taught me about, I guess, that life is just, you know, being able to put emotions aside and just get shit done. And like in terms that like sometimes things that you think are good for you might actually be bad for you, and things that you think are actually for the better are actually holding you back.
Well
so
said,
it's actually very interesting because I was dating a girl for a long time and I was kind of like not really doing music, and it wasn't until I broke up with her and she was like, oh, you're not gonna be shit, you know. I don't know why you're doing this music shit, like you're still doing this rapping shit, you're gonna go nowhere. And I was like, yo, fuck this bitch.
And then you're like, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
So I just went harder, you know. I went harder, and it's just like, you know, like.
Where is your love right now with how the music scene is in Toronto?
I'm disappointed. There's a lot of talent in Toronto. I myself have worked with a lot of talented artists in Toronto. I find that a lot of people, and I don't know if this is a problem everywhere, but I find that a lot of people, especially, well, obviously artists, like they're very egocentric. They think they should be the center of attention. A lot of people think that they have it, which they do, like people have talents and stuff, but they don't realize that there's a lot of work that you gotta put in. There's a lot of times you gotta be at the studios. There's performances you gotta do. You gotta make money on the side to invest. A lot of people think just because I'm an artist and I have it and I look good, it's gonna come to me. Someone's gonna come and give me the money to make this shit happen. And you know how many artists, singers I came across that were talented as fuck, but they had no money. They wouldn't be able to put in the work, and it's because they were waiting for somebody to come and put them on, put the money. I was recording them, getting them shows. Wow. If I wasn't doing that shit, they wouldn't be doing that themselves.
And they felt like talent was gonna speak for itself.
And it really spoke to me because it made me realize, why am I doing this for people who don't appreciate it? I should just do this for myself. With that being said, I'm disappointed with the way that the industry is, because there's a lot of talent, but it's very separated. A lot of people are egocentric and they're separated, and there's a lot of beef. There's a lot of everybody's envious of, like, they don't realize that the market is so big that we could all blow up. We could all blow the fuck up. Look at Pressa, Smiley, Drake, all these guys.
Pressa just said this on the
Breakfast Club.
Well, he did a bunch of runs. He did the No Jumper, Breakfast Club, Academics. I feel like he did a bunch, and he even said himself that it's like I've said this before, I'm pretty sure on my shows, is like hate on each other. And I've noticed that there's a lot of like knits of groups that stick to themselves, and you know, when it should be more, yo, let's all get together. Like with the Beyond the Views podcast, you know, I love the fact that a lot of artists that have been on my show have now, you know, united amongst themselves, now following each other, reached out to each other, you know, potentially making songs with each other. This is the whole point why I do what I do, because I want y'all to see what, you know, this artist is doing, what he's doing, what she's doing, to potentially collab with each other, man. Like, I just want to be that glue that unites all you know, to work with each other, man. There's a lot of good talent out here, bro, and like we got to put that ego aside and let's shoot for the stars together, bro. There's room for all of us, man.
100%. And that's actually kind of the goal I was going for when I started doing this networking socials, because I realized like everybody's so separated. Might as well bring everybody together. Okay, if they're not about it, they're not about it. But whoever we can unite, I think can make like a big change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree. Activado. Another music video. Another music video. This is a little clip for you guys to check it out. Before I was blind, but now I see everything clear. This life be solo with no one by your side. This is a translation in English from the Spanish. How does it go in Spanish?
How'd you even get that?
Yo, I'm telling you.
You know, in this time, when I was doing this song, it's actually very interesting because that year, which was what, like a year and a half ago, I was going through a lot of difficult shit. And I'm a professional in sense that like I left the streets a while ago, you know?
Yeah.
And like it's just like when you used to be in that type of life, it usually tries to come back and tear you back down and try to bring you into that shit again, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I try to put positive energy and love into everything I do and just going forward, just because I know how hard it could be, right?
Yeah.
And around that time, actually, I had a lot of stress, and I'm religious, so I prayed to God and I asked Him to remove anybody in my life that's not meant for me.
Yeah.
And that time, funny enough, people who were close to me started bickering with me and started beef with me, or like would distance themselves from me, or just randomly started trying to like come at me with some shit. So I just kind of like, it made me step back and be like, okay, so a lot of these people who were around me, who were saying that they're my family, that they down the ride or this and that, were actually the whole time just envious of me, or they're trying to plot against me, or it showed me a lot of stuff, right? And it made me realize that, like, yeah, in this life, you're really alone. Like, even if you think the friends that you grew up with are there for you, they're really, you know?
Yeah, and you know, it's good that you brought that up, because a lot of artists that have been on the show have said it as well, where it's like the closest ones to you, bro, are like the ones that most likely will fucking not fuck with your shit.
When things actually start happening, you expect the people around you to be like, yeah, we're actually making shit happen, but it's like, no,
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite. Now wait, who's changing though? Are you as an artist changing because you're blowing up and you're doing well, or are the people around you changing?
Yeah, that's a real question.
That's a real question right there. Is there someone in Toronto that you would love to collab with, that you haven't reached out to, that you guys might, or her, might not even know each other, but you've, you know, if it came through your mind, you're like, yeah, I'd love to work with her or him, or...
Lots. I mean, obviously, like, I fuck with a lot of, like Toronto rappers and stuff, right? Like, I've met a lot of them personally and stuff, too, but I think one of the biggest ones for me was, like, I wanted to have a song with Houdini. And the crazy thing is that we were in the works, in talks with their management about doing a feature with them.
Wow.
Like literally 2-3 weeks before the accident, you know.
R.I.P.
And
Houdini.
my people had actually booked them for a show that actually got canceled because the police shut it down. Right?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy amount of energy, and you know, and it's like that kind of really turned me down in terms of like fuck, like, you know, I really used to like look up to him. I mean, I still do, and I used to like really like fuck with his music. So
wow.
It's like, for me, it was like, okay, you know, and then boom, got shut down. So I was like, that's crazy.
Your boy Cito, Papi AQ in the building, episode 25. You know what time it is.
Sir.
I want to get to one of your latest, if not the latest, music video, Guerrero. Ooh. Let's put a clip.
A veces me caigo, después me levanto. Yo sigo empujando delante, yo nunca me espero milagros. Yo no soy un santo, tampoco un malo. Yo vivo mi vida.
You had a lot of people in this music video as well.
A lot of SoundScan people, a lot of the camp from here helped out.
Where was that boxing arena at?
It was Dwight's boxing gym in Etobicoke.
In Etobicoke.
Yeah.
Dope. You also had
Rodolfo Velasquez. He's known as Latino Heat. He's also a Canadian champion.
Latino Heat. Oh yeah. Okay.
He lives in Hamilton. Shout out Latino Heat. That's my dog.
What inspired the whole boxing scenes and image in this music video?
So I always really liked boxing and like kickboxing, training, UFC, all that. That whole world always spoke to me, right?
Dope.
To be honest, it was more so the storyline. I had a storyline in my head where I came up with. Basically, it's based around a kid who his parents both passed away, and his uncle's raising him, and he has dreams of becoming a professional boxer, but he's stuck in the shits, right? Working at his uncle's mechanic shop to try to make ends meet.
Yeah.
In the meantime, fantasizes about becoming the boxer, but the street life around him is trying to drag him down, trying to get him to become a Grammy guy, to become in the hood stuff, not trying to let him elevate past what he's meant to be, right?
Yeah.
And basically that itself, like the guerrero means warrior, right?
Right.
So it was almost like a story of inner warrior being awoken from the character, and I feel like that. In a sense, I kind of related to that.
Of course.
That's kind of where I came up with that idea, but I also thought more commercial, you know, because these days I'm realizing that it's cool to have trending and popping songs, but commercial is where it's at.
Where it's at? No, 100%. Yeah. Papi AQ in the building. Listen, I want to know what's coming, man. Like, what can we expect?
I am planning a music video, and like I haven't decided which song yet, but I have multiple songs on mind. I'm working on an album, actually, which I think is, I would say, my best to this day, but I'll probably every time I have a song I'm gonna say that. You know, but I think it's my biggest piece of work. It's like it's gonna be like at least like 12, 11, 10 songs.
Wow.
Like, you know, something big. And this album is gonna be called Nuevo León, which means a new lion, which is kind of like a rebirth of myself, but it's also Nuevo León is the state where Monterrey is, where in Mexico, where I was born.
Right.
So it's almost like my birthplace and my renewal in the same name.
Amazing.
Now, with that being said, I wanted to drop 2 singles off the album before the actual album, which I'm thinking early 2022. But before that, I want to drop 2 singles off the album just to give people peep, you know?
Amazing. So we can expect at least 2 records before January.
Before the end of the year, yeah.
And then you're working on the album.
And then the album, that's gonna be hefty. My name is Papi AQ. I'm a Spanglish artist from Toronto. I make all kinds of music, hip hop, trap, EDM, R&B, dance hall. You already know everything that you can vibe to. You can probably find something that you like on my music if you like it, and it's all on Spotify, playlist, YouTube, Amazon, anywhere you can stream music, Audio Mac. Papi AQ on all platforms. I also make skits on TikTok. If you wanna,
we'll put it somewhere over here. We'll drop the link. We'll drop the link somewhere down there.
And just basically out here trying to make noise and trying to bring the Latino community in Canada more together, and hopefully we can make some noise and let people know what we got.
Love it, bro. Papi AQ, Boycito, Beyond the Views podcast, episode 25. You know what time it is. I appreciate you for coming through. Thank you so much for your time. SoundScan Studios, once again, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you. And you know what time it is, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, share. We dropping this. Let's go.
Me pongo vivo cuando me fumo un blunt. Ando activo, cabrón, así como soy. Ando jugado como salí de prisión. Me bro, man, I'm keeping quiet, cause you know I don't talk, I just make it right. Tengo a tu puta ya zumbando mi canción. Me gusta la rumba.
Latino gang in the building.
Latino gang!